We passed 300 prop firm challenges, all using a Forex robot that I'm going to show you in this video. And we did this all without placing a single manual trade. And we even went as far as to pass 18 prop firm challenges in a row. In this video, I'm going to share with you exactly how we created this robot, some of the insights that we learned in creating it. If you are planning on passing or trying to pass a prop firm challenge using a robot, that may be helpful. I'm going to show you the results of it. And also at the end, I'll show you how you could actually try this and only pay for it if it helps you actually, in fact, get funded, or else you don't pay a penny for it. Hi, my name's Adam Winnig, and for the past 6 years, I've been fascinated by Forex robots. I've been tinkering with them and trading with them and developing them, and I've been really fascinated by these Forex robots for the past 6 years, and I help make this channel to help make your trading experience easy, lucrative, and fun. And by the way, if you find this video helpful and you're interested in trading with robots or passing prop firm challenges, then come on over to group.bluedgefx.com and you can join our live Facebook group where you can ask more questions and see some of the results, as well as see exactly how we have a community of hundreds of people that are now passing prop firm challenges using this. So the breakdown for this video is I'm going to show you how we've helped more than 300 people pass prop firm challenges using our Forex robot. I'm going to explain to you how we came to actually create this, show you some of the results, and then also explain to you what we've learned in this process, and then give you an opportunity to try this and only pay for it if it actually helps you get funded. So with that being said, I actually got introduced to Forex Robots, or EAs, about 6 years ago, and I was fascinated by it because it actually helped me, somebody that was brand new to trading, to start to make money actually on a consistent basis. Now, on that timeline, I saw the good, the bad, and the ugly. As you know, it can be really exciting at times using EAs or Forex robots, and it can be really depressing and gut-wrenching, and you can blow your accounts, and there's a whole mess of things that can happen when using Forex robots. Now, when prop firms started coming out a few years ago, I saw this as a massive opportunity to be able to create some sort of robot that could actually pass these prop firm challenges and basically set up an algorithmic trading situation where I could trade a prop firm's money, $100,000, $200,000, and I could set it up in a way where I could just have these robots that are passing these challenges for me. And so we went out on this process of trying to develop a Forex robot that could pass these prop firm challenges for us, and we developed this system called Titan X. And we were having some success with it. We had passed a few challenges here and there, but it wasn't really anything consistent. But we did see some members in our group that were trading it, some of our friends that were trading it, that started to have results more and more consistently. And so we thought, oh, maybe there really is actually something here. And so essentially what we did is we hired a full-time team of developers that basically went through and started optimizing and changing different parameters and putting together what we believe is the best expert advisor or robot on the market for passing prop firm challenges. And it took a long time. We've been developing this thing for like the last 3 years. And at this point, we've got it dialed into a point where it's really pretty successful. And I think we've helped maybe around 300 people pass prop firm challenges. You can see here in our Discord community, we've got like just dozens and dozens, and 300, maybe more, maybe a little bit less. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's probably around 300 at this point. You can see we just have ungodly amount of results of people that have passed prop firm challenges and gotten funded using our Forex robot called Titan X. So I wanted to get in and actually show you a little bit about how this actually works and show you some of the data and show you some of the results of it. Now, the big thing that we learned when going through this process was we realized that it's not realistic to find or to develop a robot that's going to be able to pass 100% of the time. But also the big aha that we had was that you don't necessarily need to pass 100% of the time in order to actually make really good money trading with prop firms and trading with Forex robots. So we went back since January 4th of 2021, and we basically ran a test every single week for the past year and a half up until current date when I'm filming this, which is August 9th, and we'll update this every single week, this spreadsheet. But basically, we took an FTMO challenge where we have to basically do the 10% profit target with no more than 5% daily drawdown or 10% max drawdown overall, if you're familiar. And we had 56 passes and 26 fails. So we actually only passed 68% of the time. And on average, it took us about 8.3 days to pass. So you can see here on January 4th, we passed, and it passed, on, the 18th. So it took us about 14 days to pass. And so we just logged this in on our spreadsheet to see, how did we actually perform over time? Now we also have the verification, or the phase 2, and we did the same exact thing. We had 63 passes and 19 fails for a pass rate of 76.83%. And on average, it took us about 3.73 days to pass the challenge. Now, if you simply multiply 68% times 77%, you're going to get about a funded ratio of 52%, which means that we're actually getting a funded account about 52% of the time. And some people are like, well, that's not very good, but it's really good. And I'm going to explain the math behind this in just a second. So basically 52% of the time, we're actually getting a funded account. Now, let me show you how powerful this is. We built this little calculator here to show you, kind of what you can expect. And obviously, guys, with any sort of backtest or hypothetical scenarios, in full transparency, there can be variations or differences when you bring it to a live market. Now, we have seen up until this point that we have performed similarly to the backtest, which is actually really encouraging as well. So I just went in here and I put in my phase 1 pass rate of 67.9. Well, I guess it's 68.29. Since I made this. So 68.29. And then I put in the phase 2 pass rate, which is 76.83. The account size of $100,000, which is the account size that I'm using for FTMO. You can put the challenge fee here, okay? And then the profit split, which is 80%, right? And basically it'll spit out my funded rate, which will be, well, I guess this needs to be changed a little bit here. Okay, so I just need to put the percent sign there and we got it back together. So funded rate of 52.47. So this means that on average, in order for us to get a funded account, it's going to cost us $953. So we're almost going to have to take a little under 2 challenges in order to get a funded challenge. Now, over here, we can see the amount of money that we'd make per challenge. So once we get the funded account, if we're just using this phase 1 strategy, which means that we're just going for a 10% profit target, this basically means per $500 challenge that we take, on average, we should make about $3,128, which is pretty good, right? This is like a 1 to 6 risk to reward ratio. You put in 500 and you potentially make 3,128. Pretty good, right? Or if you wanted to do it this way, you could just use the phase 2 strategy, which only goes for a $5,000 profit target. And if you were to do that, essentially you'd make $1,874 for every challenge that you took. So on average, it'd be like a 1 to 3.75 risk to reward ratio, which is amazing. Like if you look at this in reality, it shows you that you don't have to pass every single time. Now, the good thing about this is that we have actually hired a full-time team of people that are constantly trying to optimize and increase the performance. So these numbers that you see right here will actually be the worst numbers that we'll actually ever have, because we're constantly coming out with new unique strategies to actually make it perform even better. So that's one of the cool parts about this whole thing, is that we take this CANI approach, which stands for constant and never-ending improvement. So before I go on and show you how you can actually try this and only pay for it if you actually get funded, I want to show you some of the things that we actually learned. The first thing that we learned is, because what prop firms are requiring you to do is really difficult, right? To make 10% profit with no more than 5% drawdown a day or 10% drawdown overall, it's difficult. We found that a trend following system is a lot more difficult to pass. So we decided to use like a dollar cost averaging or grid or martingale system. And a lot of the times, these systems can be really dangerous when trading them on your live accounts. But we found that this was the way to most consistently pass prop firm challenges and get people across the board. The second thing that we really realized was that you don't really need to pass a prop firm challenge every single time in order to make money. If you just simply think like a casino, right? A casino knows that for, I think they have like a 5% margin a lot of the time. So for every $1 million that gets traded in their casino, they're going to make like $50,000, right? And we know that with our system, we just have a slight edge. We have an edge in the market where we know that if we just continue to take challenges, we're going to pass a certain amount of them and we're going to get funded on average around 52%. And even if we just do 52% or even less than that, we can still make money. And this was a big aha because even though it's more psychologically difficult for people, this is still a way that you can actually make money using a trading system like this. The third thing that we learned is even though the edge is really strong and that it's been proven time and time again to work, it still can be psychologically difficult, right? You go through and you pass a prop firm challenge and then maybe you get funded and then you go and you lose the account, which is a reality that'll happen some of the times. And maybe you go through phase 1, you fail phase 2, or maybe you go through phase 2, you get funded and you fail the funded account. This is the reality. And this is difficult for people psychologically because they've gone through this emotional battle where they got it and they're so excited. Yes, I did it. And then boom, they fail the account. And so we found that even though it has an edge, we find that some people struggle because they can't get it through their head mentally. Okay. Now, the last thing that we realized about trading this sort of system is that it really is dependent upon the market phase. In a trending market, the system is not going to perform as well as it will in a ranging market. So one of the things that we've implemented is we've implemented what we call this virtual pass rule, which essentially if we fail a challenge, then we're not going to begin trading again until we see that the market conditions are favorable and we're back in a ranging market. And doing this increases our odds of winning even beyond what you saw in the spreadsheet. So with all that being said, if you'd like to actually try out this robot for yourself and see if what I'm saying is BS or see if it's legit, then come on over to propfarming.com, just propfarming.com, and you'll see a little bit more in depth on how our robot works, what exactly is prop farming, and how you can try this out and only pay for it if you actually get funded. And the best part about it is we'll even refund the cost of your challenge fees if you're not able to get funded, which makes it a no-brainer thing to go check out. So just going over to propfarming.com, and if this video was helpful, then please like, subscribe, and turn on the post notifications so you don't miss any other helpful videos on this channel. And feel free to check out some of the other helpful videos that we do have.